Hey guys, in this video we're going to be checking out the Realacc Orange85, and this is another micro quad that kind of reminds me a little bit of the Chaser 88 that I reviewed a few weeks back, but this one comes with the prop guards already, and these are 3D printed prop guards, but they're kind of heavy, but it doesn't seem to affect flight too much just because this particular setup is not set up for 2S, it's set up for 3S. And I'll go over that in a little bit, but it comes with different motors. I think these are 1104, I'm sorry, these are 1106, 6000 kV motors. Let me see if I can get that to focus. So it's a bigger motor at a lower kV, and it's designed for 3S instead of 2S. It's probably not going to fly as well on 2S because the props won't spin as fast, because these are the 1935 Racerstar 5-bladed props. So that's why this is set up for 3S, and it comes with a 3S 450 milliamp hour battery. Looks like this. It's a Niyashin branded 450 3S, and it's rated for 25C, and it comes with an XT30 connector, which is what comes on the quad, which is a little different from the other ones that are running 2S. It only comes with the JST, and that's probably going to be more appropriate because when I tried to fly it with the Zippy here, this is a Zippy 500, also 25C, but this one comes with a JST connector, so I used a little JST to XT30 adapter, and when I was doing the line of sight flight, you'll see later that the buzzer or the voltage alarm was going off almost right away, which means that the battery was sagging a lot, which means that this battery and the wire and the connector here wasn't supplying the appropriate amount of current to the flight system, the ESCs and the motors. So there's not a whole lot that comes with it. You get the quad itself, you get a B3 charger, power cord here. This charges 2 and 3S batteries through the balance plug. And then you get a spare set of yellow Racerstar 1935 5-bladed props. The receiver is included. In this case, this is the FlySky FS-A8S. This is the FlySky version. I think if you get the FreeSky version, you'll get a different receiver. But it did come in the attached already, but it was kind of sitting over here on the side. And so I just stuck it here on the little antenna guard and zip tied it there. It didn't come zip tied out of the box. I had to do that. The other thing about this is kind of interesting is that the flight controller, I think, is the same flight controller that was originally on the Chaser 88. It doesn't come with an OSD, it's just I think it comes with Betaflight 3.1.5, and according to the CLI dump, it's a Pico BLX target, but I think it's got the same problem that the Chaser 88 board had, where if you try to update it to a newer version, say 3.1.7, you would brick the board because it's not really the Pico board. It's like a clone, or they did something to the firmware where they modified it, and so they came out with a custom firmware on the Chaser 88 product page for that flight board. They didn't do that for this one, as far as I can tell. However, I didn't update the firmware because I didn't want to take the chance of bricking the board, so I left it at Betaflight 3.1.5. Pretty much left all the settings stock. I did up the PIDs a little bit, and I'll give you a little screen grab of what the PIDs look like. And other than that, I didn't really change a whole lot. Just bound the receiver, changed the PDs a little bit. I changed the modes for my particular transmitter, the Turnigy Evolution. I just set up arming on auxiliary 1, and that was about it. And I charged the battery and I flew it. So there's not a whole lot to get this in the air. The setup and the configuration is pretty easy. The only thing that was kind of a little weird that I thought was that it comes with these 10 amp ESCs. I think these are also the same ones that come on the Chaser 88, but even though they're supposed to be D-Shot 600 capable, it was only D-Shot 150 enabled out of the box. And I left it alone for the demo flight just to see if there was any issues, and it didn't seem like it affected anything. It seemed to fly fine. The only thing I noticed was that on mid to say 75% throttle, the video would vibrate. You can see a jello in the video, and that's probably because this frame is pretty thin. It's only 1mm carbon for these arms, and this whole setup, even with the ducks, it's pretty flexible. So I'm thinking that with the 3S and the high RPM motors here, that there's going to be some vibration issues. I see that the camera is mounted directly on top of the plastic here. Let's see if I can get that to come into focus. There's no probably cushion there, so if I maybe put some foam there, I think that might help with the vibration. I may do that later on if people are interested in that. There's a little buzzer and 2 LEDs in the back. I left that alone. I didn't change the voltage alarm. I think it's set to 3.5. Probably should lower that for if you're going to be using batteries with the JST connector, just because the alarm seems to go off right away. But even with the stock 450 here, the alarm didn't go off right away, but the flight was still kind of short. I think I got under 3 minutes on the flight before the buzzer started sounding. I think that you probably can fly maybe another minute with the buzzer sounding and drain the battery totally, but I don't usually like to do that. Usually that kills the battery, so I don't do that. But in any case, the video transmitter here, all-in-one camera video transmitter in the back here, I think this is the TX02. They kind of mounted this so that the sticky foam is on the back part of here, the back support that's kind of angled. If you can see that there. And it covers up the little LED indicator that shows you the bands and the channels. So you have to pull this off to make sure to set your channel and band correctly, because you can't see that little LED to see what band and channel you're on. So that was kind of a mistake on their part. They could have probably put the foam on the bottom instead of the back. So I might alter this whole setup later on. But I'm thinking that the most important thing you want to do in terms of getting better performance is getting rid of these ducks. I tried to fly this indoors, and it's way too fast for flying it indoors on 3S. And I did try hovering it on flying around on 2S, and it's okay, but the throttle felt really sluggish, and I wouldn't recommend flying this on 2S because the props are so small and it's only a 6,000 kV motor. It didn't feel like it would fly that well indoors. It flew slow, but it just didn't feel very good. And so I'm thinking that these ducks are just kind of pointless. I would just take them off, get a lighter setup, fly it on 3S outside, and I think it would fly pretty good. On 3S it actually flew pretty good outside with the ducks on in the wind. It was pretty gusty out there, like 10-15 miles an hour, and it seemed to fly just fine, other than the little vibrations in the video. So I'll go ahead and run that video for you guys. Not a whole lot to this. I think if there's enough interest, let me know if you guys want to see a demo flight with the ducks off, and I'll do that. So just leave me a comment. If you have any questions, let me know as well, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.